Shawn Forbes with OilfieldSourcing.com.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us here today. I wanted to bring you in for two reasons. One, I want to talk about your company, but also events. You've got some events going on that you're kind of corralling and getting some events together, I guess, for the industry and distributing it, that sort of thing. So let's talk a little bit about some events going on, and then we'll talk about what it is you do and what your company does in the oil field. So with that, how are you doing on this lovely day?
I'm a little cold. We have some snow here in Denver, so I'm building a fire and trying not to freeze my little toes off.
Well, I certainly can give you some advice if you'd like that. Not going to get much sympathy from the man up in the Dakota when it comes to.
I know. I honestly have nothing to complain about.
With the cold,
Dakota is pretty brutal. Yeah.
I get very jealous about the Black Hills and the Coloradians because you guys have vertical snow, whereas in the Dakotas and even into Wyoming, the snowfall is pretty horizontal, and that's not fun. That's just not fun.
It's not fun.
No, well, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So Oilfield Sourcing is basically an oil and gas directory for businesses to promote their services. We also have events. So I don't personally have any events, but I advertise all of the oil and gas events happening across the U.S. My website also hosts the entire North American oil and gas industry, but I haven't really reached out to our friends in the North quite yet. But if you're looking for an oil and gas event, whether it be, clay shoot or a volunteer event or a fundraiser, we have really nice raffles right now for rifles, separator equipment. You can log on to the events page and see what's going on.
Well, I'm just looking at a few of them. I mean, we got Alberta, Canada here, and there's another one. Looks like the Oilfield Helping Hands Permian chapter. We've got a motorcycle raffle. What's a motorcycle? Motorcycle raffle here. All kinds of interesting speech on this lovely day. All right. Well, it's neat, though, because with all the events that are being canceled and these pop-up events that seem to be successful, I mean, sometimes an event only needs a week notice nowadays just because so many people are either working from home or bored sitting at home, or they can't get out because their companies won't allow travel for business reasons. And there's all kinds of new stipulations, each one individuals to each person's life. So talk to me how somebody can submit an event to you, and then if somebody is, just on their website right now, how can they go ahead and locate it?
Yeah, so the website is pretty self-sufficient. It's automated by the user, so I don't have to be the middleman for posting events or business listings. Just go to oilfieldsourcing.com/advertise with us. There'll be a menu of options, including business listings, event options, classifieds. Companies can post surplus equipment for sale. They can also post articles for free. And there are some banner options available on the website. So if you'd like to create a banner for your company, you can choose that option as well. Events are free to post. Articles are free to post. Articles, I really suggest to companies, it drives traffic to people's business listings. Business listings start at free and then go up very low cost annually, depending on the types of features that companies would like with their listing. Just start at oilfieldsourcing.com/advertise. You'll see a menu of options. Click on Start Today and create an account, and you'll have an account dashboard that you'll manage all of your information from. So I don't even have to get involved unless you have any questions, and I'm happy to help. So.
You mentioned that you're out of Colorado and you spend some time in the Dakotas. Talk to me a little bit about your oil and gas background.
Yeah, so I've actually been in purchasing for 20 years. I started in aerospace and worked my way through to the oil and gas industry 14 years ago. So I've been in procurement for 14 years in oil and gas. I started at a pump skid fabricator called Quadna, who then got purchased by DXP. I was a buyer slash project manager for those guys, and then went to work for an engineering firm called Forerunner, which eventually was purchased by URS. I did a lot of project buying for a lot of operators and midstream companies. Then I went to Encana. I worked for Encana for 4 years, supported probably 12 operating areas in 10 different states in the US. And then I went to Whiting, which is where I have my North Dakota support experience from. I remember one day I was out there looking for a bunch of stainless steel fittings, and it was probably -10 blowing snow. And I could never have been more mad at that supplier for making me go out there and try to hunt down materials. And that just gave me so much more respect for the men and women who work outside in North Dakota. So heads up and hands off, hats off to the guys out there. Whiting sold their assets to Tesoro, so I went to Tesoro for a year, and then over to Discovery Midstream. We built out a bunch of pipelines and gas plants in the DJ here in Denver. And my last stint was with Kalman Ventures, supporting BKV operating up in Pennsylvania and North Texas. So here I am today, doing my best to create some useful tools for the industry, and providing a platform for buyers and engineers, to find companies who provide specific types of services. If you're looking for a company that provides services, you can search by keyword, state, or region to find what you're looking for. So hopefully I can help connect some buyers and sellers.
I look at kind of what you're doing here, from some of the equipment you got up here and just some of the listings and et cetera. And I was just talking with a couple, multi-cajillion-dollar companies over the last month, and, global companies. And they were basically talking about their digital transition, on how they're using this COVID shutdown and a lot of this to get their customers through a digital transition and through a number of things like that. I look at your site and I think of all the different companies involved with the supply chain. And boy, I would think that the small companies and the mid-sized companies, this would be right up their alley. Some of the bigger companies, they got their own departments to do a lot of this stuff. So I get that. And they would benefit from something like this too. But the smaller to mid-sized companies, I would think would really be close to your target audience. Who is your? I mean, it's everybody. But have you seen us? Yeah, go ahead, take over.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, everybody knows who Schlumberger, Halliburton, all of those guys. Everybody knows who they are. So you don't have to look very hard to find those guys. But I'm catering to companies that you can't Google and find them. Because for me, if I am transferred or get a job supporting a new basin, like Pennsylvania is a perfect example. When I went to work for BKV operating, I was now supporting Northeast Pennsylvania, and I had never supported that region before. And the companies that support that area are very localized. They're not national. They don't have 15 branches across the U.S. So it was really hard for me to try to locate companies in those areas. It took a lot of time creating a network and talk to the frac guys about, who does wireline over here and who's really good at water hauling. And so it took me a really long time, and it would be nice if I could just find companies with just a few clicks, and then, do my due diligence on, making sure that, they have good references and they've done a good job for other companies in the area. So totally agree with you. I think this is a good platform for smaller companies that don't have big, marketing departments and things like that. So
2021, let's get your outlook, kind of conclude here. We brought you in to talk a little bit about some events that are going on and how your website has events that people can go to, much, much more, obviously. But talk to me a little bit about what you see for 2021, either through yourself or with the industry.
Yeah, I'm really optimistic for 2021. I know some people aren't, but I think companies are getting more creative now with the types of events that they put out. There's a lot of virtual events that bring people together and are keeping people connected. I'm also part of the Women's Energy Network of Colorado, and we have come up with some really cool outdoor events that promote, social distancing. And I think as the vaccine gets distributed, whether people think a vaccine is a good idea or not, I really hope that it's a trigger to create some change as far as opening things back up and allowing people to socialize again. Happy hours are a big thing in the oil and gas industry, and I miss them dearly for sure. So hopefully things start to pick up. I don't know what the new administration is going to look like, but I'm just an optimistic person, I think, in general. So I think, like I said, as companies get more creative with, the types of events that they create, I think we're going to be in a better position than we were in 2020, not understanding the rules of how to congregate. So I'm excited about it.